Hello, I'm Pravin Jaraj. There have been developments on the inquiry into the allegations by Nusrat Ghani, MP, that she was sacked as a government minister for being Muslim, and it looks like it's going to be a whitewash, no pun intended. A quick roundup. 2 weeks ago, Nusrat Ghani said in the Sunday Times that she was told she was sacked as a government minister for her Muslimness, and that her faith has made others uncomfortable. Mark Spencer, the then Chief Whip, then added himself as the person who said this to Ghani. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, then ordered an inquiry into the matter. Then, despite the added hint of Islamophobia in government alongside the investigation into parties in Downing Street during lockdown, the story seemed to disappear from the news coverage. Thanks to the Business Insider Africa website, we now know that unlike the inquiry into Downing Street parties, the inquiry into Nusrat Ghani's allegations has not been given any special terms of reference, or at least the Cabinet Office has said it won't publish any. Instead, the inquiry will operate under the generic term of a breach of the Ministerial Code. On the top of that, there won't be any publicly named individual who is responsible for it, such as Sue Gray. So we don't formally know what the inquiry will be about, and we don't know who is responsible for it. All we know is that the inquiry will be done by civil servants in the Cabinet Office. The Cabinet Office is now accountable to Boris Johnson's new Chief of Staff, Steve Barclay. Today it's been announced that Mark Spencer has been moved from the position of Chief Whip to that of Leader of the House of Commons. I can't quite see this as a demotion for what he told Nusrat Ghani. The Leader of the House of Commons is a far more visible and far more responsible role than a Chief Whip. But here's the problem so far, which no one seems to have raised. Mark Spencer allegedly told Nusrat Ghani that she was sacked for being Muslim, but as Chief Whip he wouldn't have had the power to actually sack her. Only the Prime Minister has the power to sack a government minister. Nusrat Ghani says that she doesn't know whether what was told to her by Mark Spencer came out of reshuffle meetings or from members of the Conservative Party. The question is, therefore, whether Boris Johnson ultimately decided to sack Nusrat Ghani, and did he take her Muslimness into account? But instead we have the one person who should be the subject of this inquiry actually ordering it and setting the rather generic terms of reference. This is not the first time that Boris Johnson has interfered with an inquiry into Islamophobia. Just like anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, there have been enough complaints of Islamophobia within the Conservative Party to warrant the Muslim Council of Britain to call for an independent inquiry, backed by a number of Muslim Conservative MPs. During the Conservative Party leadership election in 2019, all candidates, including Boris Johnson, supported the idea of having an external investigation into Islamophobia within the party. Yet by the time Johnson became leader and PM, he shifted the focus away from Islamophobia onto all forms of discrimination. This is not dissimilar to Jeremy Corbyn claiming to be against all forms of discrimination and racism in response to specific allegations of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. The result was that the inquiry allowed the Conservative Party to avoid an in-depth interrogation of Islamophobia within the party. Nevertheless, it was found that 2/3 of all complaints analysed were found to be anti-Muslim. Is this Cabinet Office going to result in another meaningless report that Boris Johnson can interpret in a way to save his own skin? The only person who knows whether Nusrat Ghani was sacked as government minister for being Muslim is the only person who had the power to sack her, Boris Johnson. My guess is that we won't have an answer to that question. This issue will only be resolved if there is a proper independent investigation by the Equality and Human Rights Commission into the Conservative Party, just as there was an investigation into anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. What do you think? Do you think we'll get a proper inquiry into Nusrat Ghani's sacking and Islamophobia in the Conservative Party, or do you think it'll just be a whitewash? Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and please subscribe if you want to keep updated on my future videos.